let's have a throwing contest. How you're doing? No, you can't see. Then I think I won. Yeah, like.
Well, we can go camping down the road.
Yeah.
In 2011, Leslie and Danny made the decision to adopt the child. After countless hours in research and classes, moments of frustration and lots of emotions, they attended a function hosted by the Heart Gallery in St. Petersburg, Florida. They were introduced to 13-year-old Justice and 10-year-old Jeremy.
We met Justice and Jeremy at first and immediately felt a connection to them. And Danny and Jeremy were talking and Justice and I were talking, and we kind of made eye contact with each other and we were like,
Yep.
you know, yes, this is amazing.
Good.
Yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm. We instantly kind of got a feel for what their personalities were like too. Justice was trying to be helpful and, you know, wanted to make the pizza, and Jay wanted to mess around and mix stuff up and kind of joke around. And over the course of talking, we talked for, I don't know, probably 10 minutes. And then they dropped the bomb on us and said, so, do you want to meet our brothers? And we're like, what?
Well, I said, how many of you are there?
Yeah.
And that's when Justice said there was 4. And we were kind of like,
wow.
One day we were just sitting in the living room and we looked around and we said, Danny
Where
said,
would you put 2 kids?
Yeah.
Much less 4.
And it just sort of came down to, you know, can you do it now or can you not? And we couldn't. We just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Due to circumstances of space and timing, it was impossible for Leslie and Danny to adopt the siblings. Soon after, another family began the process of adopting the kids. After more than 5 years in foster care, the children were familiar with the concept of uncertainty. One thing, however, was certain: their bond and love for each other and staying together.
I think I'm important to them, and that they're important to me. It's like our own little square since there's 4 of us.
We're just like stronger as a team.
How so?
Well, because if one of us has a problem, so we'll try to figure it out together. It's just really nice to be with them. We get along and we do things as groups.
I can entertain myself, but it really gets boring without anybody to play with.
I ended up thinking Justice wouldn't be here, and then the square would be broken, and you can't just have a triangle. I mean, you can't turn a square into a triangle without turning it into halves. And then Justice would be just this floating dot because there's no other people. We need our square. If it breaks, that other person is gonna change. And in a bad way. The square keeps things running fairly good.
Time passed and eventually found Leslie and Danny in a new home with space enough for 4 children. Call it fate. In only a matter of months, the 4 kids were again available for adoption.
If the Heart Gallery wouldn't have sponsored the event at Great Explorations, if the Heart Gallery wouldn't have reposted them, you know, again when they were available, then we never would have known about them. Never. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I think it was a matter of 2 minutes that they went through $12 worth of quarters at the arcade. And that's when you kind of realize, okay, there's a lot with 4 kids. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, Danny was helping him spend it too, but you know.
Yeah.
They didn't say no or they didn't stop us. They just laughed and gave us quarters. But my dad, he like played with us there too.
It's not so much us letting them into our life, it's them letting us into their life. I mean, they had been failed repeatedly.
On a lot of levels.
On a lot of levels. It took a huge leap of faith for them to say, hey, you know, yeah, let's do it.
It's nice to know that we have stable people around us and not people that are just gonna come one day and go away for 2 years and then come back and then go away and go to jail or do something stupid. They're here and they're very mature, and that's nice to have.
They're nice and kind to me. I just feel happy.
They like help you do things and they just love you.
They just love us, and they know, they give us the right kind of love, and they're always here, and they're never gonna go.
To have a little 8-year-old kid call you Daddy. You know, when
In
Max,
his cute little voice.
yeah, when Max in the morning, I'll call sometimes and I'll say, you know, hey, what's going on? And just check in and I'll say, hey,
Hi,
Daddy, how you
Daddy.
doing? It just melts
He
your
really
heart.
does. He has the
You
cutest,
know,
cutest
it
voice.
really, it fills you up. You know, it fills your soul with happiness.
On November 5th, 2013, Leslie and Danny's house was officially filled with more heart and more love than they ever expected when they began their journey. On that day, Max, Randy, Jeremy, and Justice received a keepsake from their new adopted parents.
Born not from our flesh, but born in our hearts. You were longed for and wanted and loved from the start.
Once they trust you, once they know that you're going to be there every day, it's as if they've been your child from
Always.
from birth.
Right.
You know, it's just it's amazing.